Success is not a mystery reserved for a chosen few. It's a blueprint anyone can follow. It doesn't knock on your door by accident. It's created through conscious choices, relentless focus, and unwavering action. Every dream you've ever held in your heart is waiting for you to stop waiting for the right moment and start building the right mindset. The moment you decide, truly decide, to change your life, everything shifts. That decision is the starting line of every great success story. It's not luck, it's not talent, and it's not waiting for the stars to align. It's the power of an unshakable decision backed by massive action. Think about it. How many times have you said to yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'll try, or maybe when I have more time? Those phrases sound harmless, but they quietly kill dreams. They keep you trapped in a cycle of waiting, hoping, and wishing instead of stepping forward and taking control. The truth is, the perfect moment will never arrive. Life will always have obstacles, distractions, and reasons to wait. But the people who create extraordinary lives are the ones who act despite the chaos. They decide that now is the time, not someday. A real decision is not just saying, I want this. A real decision means cutting off any other possibility. It means burning the boat so there's no turning back. When you make a true decision, it's no longer a matter of if. It becomes a matter of when. It's not about trying, it's about committing. You stop entertaining doubts. You stop negotiating with your excuses. And you step fully into the path you've chosen. It's the moment when hesitation dies and determination takes over. That single shift in your mindset can change the trajectory of your entire life. Massive action is the fuel that drives that decision forward. Making a decision without action is like lighting a match and never touching it to the candle. It's wasted potential. You can have all the ideas, dreams, and goals in the world, but until you move, they're just thoughts floating in your head. Action brings clarity. You don't need to have everything figured out before you start. You just need to start. Once you take the first step, the next step becomes visible. As you keep moving, momentum builds, and what once seemed impossible starts to feel inevitable. Many people think they need to feel motivated before they act. They wait for some magical surge of energy or inspiration. But that's backwards. Motivation doesn't lead to action. Action creates motivation. When you act, your physiology changes, your energy rises, your confidence grows. You prove to yourself that you're capable, and that proof fuels you to keep going. The first few steps might feel uncomfortable or uncertain, but once you push through that barrier, you awaken a force within you that doesn't rely on external circumstances. Massive action is not about working mindlessly or burning yourself out. It's about being relentless in your pursuit. It's about showing up every single day with intensity and focus, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making progress, not excuses. Some days your actions will be big leaps, other days they'll be small steps. But what matters is that you keep moving forward. Success doesn't happen overnight, but with enough consistent action, breakthroughs become inevitable. Think about any area of your life you've improved. Your health, your finances, your skills. None of it happened because you wished for it. It happened because you took deliberate steps over and over again. You made a decision to change, and you followed that decision with action. That's the pattern of success. First comes the decision, then comes the action, and eventually comes the transformation. When you commit to massive action, something remarkable happens. Life starts to respond to you differently. Opportunities that you couldn't see before begin to appear. People who can support your vision show up. Your environment starts to shift because your energy shifts. You become magnetic to possibilities, not because the world changed, but because you did. You stepped out of indecision and into power. The biggest enemy of success is hesitation. Hesitation kills dreams faster than failure ever could. Failure is just feedback. It teaches you, redirects you, and strengthens you. But hesitation keeps you stuck. It keeps you living in what if instead of what now. When you make an unshakable decision and act on it, hesitation loses its grip. Fear might still whisper in your ear, but it no longer controls your steps. You start leading your life instead of being led by your doubts. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. There will be obstacles that test your commitment. But that's part of the process. Every obstacle is a question. How badly do you want this? If your decision is weak, those obstacles will knock you down. But if your decision is strong, if you've burned the boats and committed fully, you'll find a way. You'll adapt, adjust, and keep moving. That resilience is born from the power of decision. Massive action also creates a ripple effect. The moment you decide and act, you inspire others around you. People notice when someone moves with purpose. They feel the shift in your presence, your words, and your energy. You become an example of what's possible, not because you're perfect, but because you're persistent. And in doing so, you not only change your own life, but you become a catalyst for change in others. Many people spend their lives searching for the secret to success as if it's hidden in a book, a seminar, or some external source. But the real secret has always been within them. The power to decide and the courage to act, that's it. You don't need to be special, you need to be committed. You don't need to have all the answers. You need to be willing to move forward despite the unknown. Imagine if today, right now, you made a decision so powerful that failure was no longer an option. Imagine if you decided to give everything you have to your goals, to stop hesitating, to stop second guessing, and to fully commit. What would your life look like a year from now? 5 years from now, that future is not built by chance. It's built by the decisions and actions you take today. When you align your decision with massive action, time starts to work for you, not against you. Most people underestimate what they can achieve in a year and overestimate what they can achieve in a day. But if you keep stacking action upon action, even small ones, the compound effect kicks in. Little wins accumulate, momentum builds, and before you know it, you've created results that once felt out of reach. Action has another powerful effect. It destroys fear. Fear thrives in inaction. When you sit still and overthink, fear grows bigger. But the moment you move, fear starts to shrink. You realize that the things you were so afraid of were mostly illusions created by your mind. Action cuts through the fog and reveals reality. You gain real experience, real feedback, and real growth. To live a life of success, you must become a person of decisive action. You can't tiptoe through life hoping everything will fall into place. You have to declare what you want and go after it with everything you've got. You have to be willing to make mistakes, learn, and keep moving forward. The world rewards those who take bold action, not those who sit on the sidelines. Your destiny is shaped in moments of decision. Those moments may seem small at the time, but they create massive ripple effects. One decision to start, one decision to keep going, one decision to refuse to quit. Each decision builds upon the last, creating a life of momentum and purpose. So make the decision, take the leap. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect plan, and don't wait for someone to save you. You are the author of your story, and every action you take is a word on the page. The pen is in your hand. Success is not some distant dream. It's the inevitable result of a powerful decision and relentless action. When you combine those two forces, nothing can stop you. You become unstoppable, not because the world makes it easy for you, because you've decided that no matter what, you will make it happen. That is the secret behind every extraordinary achievement. And it starts with you, right here, right now, making that decision and backing it up with massive, determined action. Everything in life begins from the inside out. The difference between people who rise and people who remain stuck isn't their environment, their resources, or their luck. It's their ability to master what's happening inside themselves. Success is born in the mind long before it shows up in reality. Your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and energy shape the way you act, and the way you act creates the life you live. Most people spend their lives trying to change their outer circumstances without ever realizing that the true battleground is within. If your inner world is chaotic, fearful, or doubtful, no strategy in the world will sustain your success. But when you learn to master your inner world, you become unshakable. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. Every emotion you experience, every belief you hold, is like a lens through which you see the world. If the lens is dirty, everything appears distorted. If your beliefs are filled with doubt, your vision of possibility is limited. If your emotions are stuck in fear, you will hesitate to act, even when the right opportunities appear. Mastering your inner world means cleaning that lens, sharpening your mental focus, and choosing consciously what you allow to shape your reality. It means refusing to let circumstances dictate your mood or direction. It's about taking responsibility for how you think and feel so that your external actions align with your highest potential. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't intentionally plant seeds of empowerment, weeds of negativity will grow by default. It's easy to let fear, comparison, self-doubt, or the opinions of others take root. Those weeds choke your progress. They drain your energy and blur your vision. But when you deliberately plant thoughts of strength, clarity, and determination, your mind starts to work for you, not against you. You begin to build an internal foundation that supports growth instead of sabotaging it. Every successful person has learned to master this inner environment. They've trained themselves to focus on possibilities, not limitations, to direct their emotions instead of being dragged by them, to create empowering beliefs that fuel action. Your emotional state is the fuel behind every decision you make. When you're in a powerful state, determined, passionate, focused, you take bold action. You make clear decisions. You face challenges with confidence. But when you're in a weak emotional state, fearful, frustrated, uncertain, you hesitate, overthink, and avoid. The external situation might be the same, but your internal state determines how you respond to it. That's why mastering your inner world is essential. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about learning to shift your state so that no matter what happens, you operate from strength rather than weakness. Most people let external events control their internal world. If something goes wrong, their mood crashes. If someone criticizes them, their confidence wavers. If plans change, their energy collapses. They're like leaves blown around by the wind, reacting to every gust. But those who achieve lasting success become the wind. They anchor their emotional state in something deeper than circumstances. They decide how they will feel and respond, regardless of what's happening outside. This doesn't mean they're emotionless. It means they've developed emotional intelligence and resilience. They've trained themselves to rise above the noise. Beliefs are another powerful force that shape your destiny. What you believe about yourself and the world becomes the filter through which you experience life. If you believe you're not good enough, you'll find evidence to support that belief. You'll unconsciously sabotage opportunities because deep down, you don't think you deserve them. But if you believe you're capable of growth, that setbacks are temporary, and that you can figure things out, you approach life with a completely different energy. You take more risks, recover faster, and see possibilities that others overlook. Mastering your inner world means consciously examining your beliefs and replacing the limiting ones with empowering truths. The words you tell yourself matter. That inner voice is constantly shaping your reality. When it whispers, "You can't," it's not neutral. It's planting seeds. Over time, those seeds grow into self-imposed walls. But when your inner dialogue becomes one of strength, belief, and focus, you break those walls down. The mind believes what it hears most often, especially when it comes from your own voice. By mastering that internal conversation, you reshape your identity and expand what's possible for you. Another essential part of mastering your inner world is learning to control focus. Whatever you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on problems, they grow larger in your mind. If you focus on possibilities, your creativity expands, your energy rises, and solutions appear. Two people can face the same situation. One sees a dead end, the other sees an opportunity. The difference is focus. By directing your attention toward growth, learning, and progress, you train your brain to find paths forward instead of reasons to quit. Energy is another inner force that determines your success. When your internal energy is low, when you feel drained, uninspired, or stuck, it doesn't matter how good your plans are, you won't execute them with power. But when your energy is high, your actions become contagious. People feel your presence. You attract opportunities because you radiate confidence and clarity. Mastering your inner energy involves taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's about creating rituals that keep you in a strong state so that, no matter what happens around you, your inner power remains stable. It's also important to understand that mastering your inner world is not about perfection. You will still have moments of doubt, fear, or frustration. Everyone does. The difference is that you won't stay stuck in those states. You'll have the tools to shift back into power quickly. You'll catch yourself when negative patterns start creeping in, and you'll redirect your focus. Over time, this becomes a habit. What once took effort becomes second nature. Think about a time in your life when you felt unstoppable. Maybe it was a moment of clarity, a big decision, or a challenge you overcame. What changed wasn't the world, it was your state. You tapped into a part of yourself that wasn't limited by fear. You trusted your strength, focused on what mattered, and moved forward. That version of you is still inside. Mastering your inner world is about learning to access that state on demand, not just in rare moments. People often underestimate the power of mindset and emotion because they're invisible. You can't measure them the way you measure money, achievements, or status. But they're the invisible forces that drive every visible result. You can give two people the same strategy, and one will thrive while the other struggles, not because of the strategy, but because of their inner world. One believes, focuses, and acts with certainty. The other doubts, hesitates, and gives up. When you take control of your inner world, external obstacles lose their power over you. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating progress from wherever you are. Even when things go wrong, you don't crumble. You adapt. You see challenges as tests that strengthen you. This mindset doesn't make life easier, but it makes you stronger. And when you're stronger internally, you can handle anything externally. Mastering your inner world also means detaching your self-worth from outcomes. Many people tie their sense of value to whether they succeed or fail at a task. When they succeed, they feel good. When they fail, they collapse. But when you master your inner world, you understand that failure is feedback, not a reflection of your worth. You remain grounded in who you are, regardless of temporary results. That stability allows you to take bigger risks because your identity isn't on the line every time something doesn't go perfectly. It's in the quiet moments when no one is watching that your inner world is truly shaped. It's in those moments of doubt, late at night, when the noise fades and your thoughts are loudest. If you train yourself to lead in those moments, to direct your mind instead of being directed by it, you build a foundation of power that no external force can shake. The most extraordinary lives aren't created by people who have perfect circumstances. They're created by people who mastered their internal game so powerfully that circumstances eventually bent to their will. They trained their minds to see opportunities where others saw problems. They controlled their emotions instead of being controlled by them. They built beliefs that pushed them forward, even when the path wasn't clear. You have that same power. Every thought you think, every belief you choose, every emotion you manage is shaping your destiny right now. You don't have to be controlled by fear, doubt, or uncertainty. You can choose strength, focus, and clarity. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And as your inner world expands, your outer world transforms to match it. Success isn't the result of one giant leap. It's the accumulation of small, consistent actions over time. Most people overestimate the power of a single, massive effort and underestimate the incredible force of daily discipline. True success is built brick by brick, day after day, long after the initial excitement fades. It's not about what you do once, it's about what you do repeatedly. Consistency turns ordinary actions into extraordinary results. It's the quiet, unglamorous commitment to keep showing up even when progress feels invisible. In the beginning, it's easy to feel motivated. The vision is fresh, the goals are clear, and the energy is high. But as days pass, reality sets in. The path is longer than expected, challenges arise, and the excitement begins to fade. This is the moment that separates those who achieve lasting success from those who give up too soon. Consistency is the bridge between goals and achievement. It's the decision to keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps, no matter how slow the progress, because you understand that every step counts. Think about the power of compounding. A single drop of water doesn't carve a canyon, but persistent drops over time can shape solid rock. The same principle applies to your habits, actions, and decisions. A single workout won't transform your body, but daily commitment to movement will. Reading one book won't make you an expert, but reading a little every day will transform your knowledge over time. Making one call won't build a business, but consistent outreach will create opportunities that stack and multiply. The real magic lies not in the size of each effort, but in the persistence of effort over time. Many people quit not because they lack potential, but because they lack patience. They expect immediate results, and when they don't see them, they assume it's not working. But growth is often invisible at first. Just like a seed growing beneath the soil, the roots are spreading before anything is visible above ground. The work you're putting in now may not produce visible results immediately, but that doesn't mean it's wasted. Consistency is planting seeds daily, trusting that with time, those seeds will break through and flourish. Discipline is the foundation of consistency. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline carries you through when motivation fades. It's easy to take action when you feel inspired, but the real test is what you do when you don't feel like it. Do you still show up when it's inconvenient? Do you follow through when no one is watching? Those moments define your trajectory more than the big, flashy efforts ever will. Success belongs to those who keep going long after the initial emotion has disappeared. There will be days when you don't see any progress. There will be times when the effort feels repetitive, even boring. This is where most people drift away, searching for something new and exciting. But those who stay consistent understand that repetition is not the enemy, it's the ally. Every repetition strengthens your skill, builds your character, and moves you closer to mastery. Just as a muscle grows through repeated training, your capabilities grow through repeated action. The truth is, success is often built in the shadows. It happens in the early mornings when the world is still asleep, in the late nights when no one is cheering, in the small daily commitments that no one notices. While others wait for a breakthrough, consistent individuals create their breakthroughs through persistent effort. They don't rely on inspiration to strike, they build habits that sustain momentum. Over time, those habits compound into results so powerful that they seem almost inevitable. Consider how many dreams have died because someone gave up too early. They planted the seed, watered it for a while, but when they didn't see immediate growth, they abandoned it. If they had just kept watering a little longer, the roots would have strengthened and the results would have come. Success doesn't usually arrive with a dramatic moment. It arrives quietly through accumulated effort, and one day, everything you've been working for suddenly clicks into place. That overnight success people see is usually years of invisible consistency. Consistency is also about alignment. When your actions align with your vision every day, even in small ways, you build trust with yourself. You prove to yourself that your words have weight, that your goals matter. This self-trust is one of the most powerful forces you can develop. It's easy to break promises to yourself when no one else knows, but every time you keep those promises, your confidence grows. You stop doubting your abilities and start relying on your own discipline. That inner certainty becomes unshakable over time. Distractions will always try to pull you away. The world is full of shortcuts, quick fixes, and promises of fast results. But consistency requires rejecting those illusions and committing to the process. It means understanding that lasting results are earned, not handed out. It means being willing to do the work when it's not glamorous, when no one is applauding, and when progress feels painfully slow. The moment you embrace the process fully, the path becomes clearer. Time is either your ally or your enemy, depending on your consistency. If you're consistent, time amplifies your efforts. If you're inconsistent, time magnifies your lack of progress. Imagine two people with the same goal. One takes small, consistent steps every day. The other works in sporadic bursts, then stops for long stretches. After a year, the difference between them is night and day. One has built momentum and progress. The other is stuck at the starting line, wondering why nothing has changed. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you never miss a day or make a mistake. It means that when you stumble, you get back on track quickly. You don't let one bad day become a bad week, or one missed opportunity become a permanent excuse. You hold yourself accountable, not through harsh judgment, but through commitment to your vision. The power of consistency lies not in never falling, but in always returning to the path. It's important to understand that consistent effort doesn't always produce linear results. Sometimes you'll put in work for weeks with no visible payoff, and then suddenly, a breakthrough happens. Progress often comes in waves. There are plateaus where growth seems stagnant, and then there are bursts where everything accelerates. Consistency ensures that when those bursts happen, you're ready to capitalize on them. If you stop during the plateau, you miss the breakthrough that might have been just around the corner. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and slow, but as it keeps rolling, it gathers more snow, grows larger, and gains momentum. Eventually, it becomes unstoppable. That's what consistency does. In the beginning, the results seem small and the effort feels disproportionate. But with time, momentum builds. Each action builds on the last, creating an unstoppable force that drives you toward your goals. When you commit to consistency, you develop resilience. You stop relying on fleeting bursts of inspiration and build a foundation of habits that carry you through challenges. Life will test you. Unexpected obstacles will appear, but consistent individuals have already trained themselves to keep going. Their discipline is stronger than their circumstances. They may bend under pressure, but they don't break. They keep moving forward one step at a time, no matter how tough it gets. The beauty of consistency is that it doesn't require perfection or extraordinary talent. It requires commitment. It requires the willingness to do what others won't, to keep going when others stop. Over time, that simple commitment sets you apart. While others are waiting for opportunities, you're building them. While others are doubting, you're progressing. While others are stuck in cycles of starting and stopping, you're steadily climbing. Look at any great achievement, and you'll see a pattern of consistency behind it. Whether it's athletes training for years, entrepreneurs building businesses, artists honing their craft, or individuals transforming their lives, the common thread is relentless consistency. It's the daily grind, the invisible work, the unwavering dedication that creates excellence. Your future is shaped by what you consistently do today. Every action, no matter how small, is either moving you closer to your vision or further away. You may not control every circumstance, but you control your effort. You control whether you show up, You control whether you stay committed when progress feels slow. That control is your power. Success doesn't favor those who act once in a while. It favors those who keep showing up day after day relentlessly. It's not the intensity of your effort in one moment that determines your destiny, but the consistency of your effort over time. Every step matters. Every repetition counts. And when you embrace that truth fully, nothing can stop the momentum you build.